Welcome back to the RDG show, starring your host, Rick, with Sir Grinch. If you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment below. Also, don't forget to click on the notification button so you don't miss any of our videos. Now, enjoy the show. Literally trying to put on a show here. When I do laugh or I go or I yell,
all this in, dude. I'm telling you, this is people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is how you do this." Oh, interesting. Oh, they like it.
Yeah, okay.
They
like it.
I promise.
It's only like these four people that
I'll bet you, and
like
all four of them are gonna be like, "Yeah, this is great." And I'll bet you, I will fucking bet you $50 if you have Zelle or Cash App. So there you go, bet. So leave it in the comments.
I try not to use that.
If you do like this part, just leave it in the comments. If you don't say anything, and that's how we'll determine. That's how we'll determine. If nobody says anything, I'll Zelle you the $50. Yeah, it's the bet, right?
The 50.
Gentleman's bet. Okay, so you have to leave this in.
Gentleman's bet. Verbal contract.
Verbal contract. All right. So you leave all this shit in, and then
all this shit goes in. See. All right. So back to the actual show.
You hear about this? The GameStop, Wall Street, fucking, what are they calling it? A battle? GameStop stock battle with Wall Street.
Yeah.
GameStop stock battle.
I heard a little bit about it, but
I might have heard just about as much as you. I looked into it a little bit, but it's pretty fucking. The numbers are pretty fucking wild. Saying that the stock shot up more than 14,300%, and that's the hardcore number right there that they got. And apparently this all started with some people on Reddit, which is pretty fucking wild.
Some Reddit users.
Reddit users just decided to fucking. I didn't get that much into it because it was like, I did start hating GameStop after a while, just like everybody else that's sane, because after they try to fuck you with those trade-in prices, which is
God, that's the horrible.
Because apparently that's how they make most of their money, because they don't get
the trade-in stuff.
Yeah, because they don't get like all that. I guess 64 with tax and maybe 64, however much it is for the new games, because I guess it has to be split up. I don't know how it all works, but I guess the initial price, the selling of it of a brand new game probably has to be split up between a bunch of different companies or whatever. But so most of their money comes from trade-ins or reselling trade-ins. So that's when you buy a new game for $60. Trade, and you tell them, this game's a piece of shit, I want to trade it in. And they're like, yeah, we'll give you $8 for it.
Yeah.
Well, that's depending on the popularity of the game. I mean, they might give you a little more, maybe 15, 20 if you're lucky.
I've never walked out of GameStop and say I got a fair price for this. Never.
Nobody.
I stopped trading in games for that because it was just like I've never walked out satisfied.
I don't think anybody's ever had that thought. Like, yeah, I got a good deal from GameStop.
I got a good deal. Nope.
No, it's like you go in and you know exactly what's going to happen. You're going to get fucked. And you just sort of, once you're in that mentality, you're just like ready for it. Yeah. They did. And they try to sweeten it up. They're like, trade in 3 of your games and get 1 used game for free. Like, oh, okay. Yeah. Let me give you more shit to make money off of while I get fucked even harder. Whatever.
It is
Anyway. But yeah, so I guess what happened was it all started with one dude. I don't even remember fucking what his name is. But the one dude was talking to his chat group on Reddit, and they're all basically just saying like, hey, let's buy up this GameStop stock. Let's buy it all up, and maybe we can. I don't know what their mentality was, but it turned out very good for them because he ended up making like $30 million. By the end of it.
Yeah, I heard people in Wall Street like traders in Wall Street were really pissed because they were like, no, we manipulate the market.
No, we manipulate it, not you people.
Not you guys.
You regular guys, you don't get to manipulate the market. And then once it shot up, they had to buy up more stocks just to cover their own losses, which I don't really know how that works. I'm going to look more into that. It should be interesting. But yeah, it forced them. It was great because it forced them to buy up more stocks to cover their losses, which only brought the price up more and made them more money. So I just think it would have been great to have been in that chat group, while they were.
I need to find these chats,
bro, because fuck. Let me see if I can see how much it was in the beginning. It was like dirt cheap. They were trying to do it with some other shit too, but it was. Let me see where.
It's like the people that regret taking out their money for like Amazon too early.
Oh, I hadn't thought about anything like that, but yeah, that's a really good point. Yeah, imagine. Can you imagine?
Like,
You're just swimming in it, you know?
Yeah, now everybody's like, golly, I should have invested in that.
Oh, okay. So I guess, well, at the beginning of the year, it was $17.25 per share. And then, wait, as a result, GameStop stock jumped more than 822% from $17.25 per share at the beginning of the year to a high of, holy hell, $159.18 on Monday. And then it dropped again by nearly half, only to rise back up $147.98 on Tuesday. And then Elon Musk got into it too, and he's got, obviously he's got 43 million followers, and he used that, and then the price jumped 40% in after-hours trading. On Wednesday, it closed at $347.51 per share. And then on Thursday, it jumped even higher to $483 per share before having.
And it started at what? Like $17?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on with all that shit. It's pretty wild. Would have been great. So now I'm thinking.
Yes.
Now you just gotta look for whatever's going to be the next thing.
Yes, the next wave.
It's all a bunch of. How many millions of people are fucking doing this anyway? So everyone's looking for the same thing. Like, what's going to be the next thing to really take off so I can make a little bit of cash?
Especially right now, that's what people should be looking towards. It's like, how can I make money just sitting at home doing nothing?
I wonder what GameStop
being on Reddit.
Let me see what GameStop is at right now. That should be interesting.
I still think it's I would think that they would be also kind of obsolete just because like now you can download the game.
I would have thought, yeah, but I don't know.
Like, unless for those people that like collecting the actual cases.
As a joke, though, I'm sure they weren't thinking like this was going to be what happened. I mean, the guy he was like the cover story of one of these fucking.
No, I got it. I got about the stock stuff. I'm just saying, I thought they would be gone by now.
Oh, absolutely, me too.
Honestly.
Dude, they were shutting down stores over here. They're fucking pushing shit out, 40% off everything. Blah blah blah.
I thought they were going to be exactly like the Blockbuster. It would just be.
Yeah, dude, bro. From how much they fucking rip everybody. I wish Blockbuster was still open. I'd absolutely still go to Blockbuster.
I think I'd still go.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a thing.
I don't know.
It's like a mini event. It's a thing to do. Go, but pick up a couple of movies, buy some of those fucking movie theater snacks, and fucking go watch it at home.
I do like the experience of it. Yes. Yeah.
And while you're there, you're in the section of whatever you're looking for anyway, and now you can look for other things that might interest you. I got into that's how I found Revolver, was Jason Statham, which before then I thought it was just like only an action guy, but no, if you see Revolver, it's a fucking good ass movie. I'm not gonna get into it.
Does he drive a car in that one?
Actually, I don't think he does. No. Maybe once or in a couple of scenes, but it's not like Transporter or anything. It's actually you actually have to think.
Because like almost every movie he's in, he drives a car.
No, I think you just think about Transporter and fucking Fast and Furious. He's got other shit. I mean, because of the mechanic, he technically, I mean, he drives, but it's not about cars.
No, I'm not saying that it has to be about cars. I'm just saying there's always a car scene with him, even if it's not about cars.
Yeah, but you can probably say that about most.
No, not really.
But it's not. It's not about cars though. Like that's not the whole thing. I think his only two movies that were really about cars was Transporter.
I'm not saying that they were all about cars. I'm just saying they all have it's like if he has
like any movie. Okay, fine. But like any movie
clause in his contract,
any movie that you think that
any movie he's in has to have a car chase or something like that.
I don't think there's a car chase in The Mechanic.
I have to watch it again because I actually really like that movie.
Yeah, I like that one too. My parents love it. They've seen it.
But he's like working on a car the entire time.
That's a fucking nightmare. And it's a Jag too. Fuck that. It's a nightmare to work on. Well, it's an older one too, so it's more simple. So maybe not. Are you hearing that too?
Yep. Caught every single one.
What's it called? It's the struggle. What I did hear about, I don't know if you were going to get into the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, because that's the only thing.
I did.
That's the only one that I've heard about recently, because it's one dose, right?
Well, yeah, it's been a lot of stuff just in general that have been going on this week. I think this week in particular, at least that I've seen, with now we're like the leading in COVID cases and deaths in the world, which
At 400,000.
I know I had said that we weren't like number one in anything, but we're definitely number one in this.
Wait, when did you say
with
we
26.
weren't? When did you say we weren't number one?
I think a couple episodes I said that we really weren't numbered. Like, although
Oh, I know what you're talking
we
about.
think very highly of ourselves, I was like, there's not a lot that
This-
we are like leading in.
That's not. Yes, first of all, America number one. And,
So you see what I mean? That's always like the
no, but I back it up. I'm not like the douchebag.
rebuttal is like it's
I'm
number
not,
one.
I'm not like the douches
It's
that like
okay.
never have done anything or whatever. Just like, yeah, America number one. Yeah. Like, I have.
Yeah, like
stuff
I
that-
don't. I even said like I do not ever see myself living anywhere else. I'm not saying like there's better places out there or anything like that. I would 100% rather live here. I'm just realistic, and I'm not like we lead in everything, and it's like it's not true though.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. And
That's just not.
I have thought about living in other places, but like not permanently. Like, it'd be nice to have like a house in another country, but like
You have to go abroad somewhere like
Yeah,
the
like
summer or
a summer house or whatever,
Yeah,
somewhere cool like Japan or fucking, somewhere in Europe be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not so much China for no really specific
Obvious
reasons. No, it's a great market out there. What do you mean? They're fantastic.
well, I'm gonna
But
get
no.
into them a little bit later.
But
The
yeah, I mean,
practices
outside
that
of
they have going on.
actually, like, this will definitely always be my home. And I got my citizenship, so hell yeah, I'm sticking around for a little while.
Yeah, no, I absolutely love it here. I'm just again realistic about who we are, and not shy to say like, yeah, we're not number one in everything. However, we do have a lot of great things here, but we are leading number one with 26 million cases, and it's 436,000 deaths now.
Hmm.
Yeah, India, I believe, is the second one in deaths.
How many do they have? Ish.
Oh, or is it the number two in?
Because I remember, yeah.
They're the number two for cases. So they're
Oh,
sitting at 10.7 million. In deaths, number two is Brazil.
Wait, what? Brazil, what?
Brazil is number two in deaths.
Oh, shit. Why? What's theirs at?
Theirs are at 223,000 cases or deaths. Sorry.
Well, everything's a competition, right?
Well, yeah, and
just-
I mean it's
Well, why?
talking about competition. I mean, California is number one for
Of
the
course.
U.S. in
Of
general.
course it is. Well, that's funny the way my mind jumped immediately to conspiracy, because maybe in their minds they're thinking, oh, nobody's taking this 430,000 deaths seriously enough. Let's make up another strain. Hey, there's another strain out there. And it started in,
Yeah.
what is it? Started in South Africa, or it started in Spain.
Well, that's
No,
the,
started
I
in
think
London.
The newest
Or no, it started in
in
Spain.
UK. In the UK, it started in the UK and it got here.
Well, this time it started in Europe, and then it went down to,
Yeah.
and then they found it in South Africa, I think, and then it made its way over here.
Yes.
I think, right? Well, that's how I saw it in my like little news blocks.
They're different. I mean, they're from different places
different.
because it's evolving as it, I guess, continues to be part of our world, which for me is just now at this point normal. In California being number one in the U.S., Governor Newsom has
That fucking guy.
recently rescinded his stay-at-home order. That was on Monday. He was just like, "Fuck it," at this point,
Bro,
it is what
I
it is.
fucking live here. I didn't see one headline about that at all. I only found out about the. You said this started on Monday.
On Monday,
Okay.
he rescinded it, and his reasoning behind it was the amount of hospitalizations that have now apparently gotten better. It has nothing to do with the political pressure or the pressure from businesses to reopen for the economy.
Bro,
It was about the numbers.
fuck that guy.
He said he's following the science.
Sure he is. I'm sure he is. If you're saying that he did this on Monday, I only found out about it yesterday. Today's Saturday.
And I don't think there was a big blast, actually, to kind of piggyback off that. I don't think there was like a something that went out. I did see it in headlines, I think on Wednesday or something like that. But some medical providers said that they didn't even see it. The way they saw it was because a barber shop had put out their hours saying like we're open again, and then
Yeah.
that's how they found out that he had lifted the stay-at-home order. I
You know
don't
how
think
found
there
out?
might have been like a big blast.
That's fucking stupid. I went out yesterday. I went to In-N-Out because it's like walking distance for me. And I was just, minding my business. I'm listening to a podcast, the RDG show. And what's it called? So I'm listening to another podcast. And so at the end of my street, you know where that Buffalo Wild Wings is, right? At that building?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I walk up there. And there's some people sitting outside. And I was like, oh, they're probably just waiting for their order and they're just going to take it and leave. And because that's the world we live in now. And I got kind of closer because I was walking to the side of the building. And then I saw that they had some beers. And I was like, oh, shit, is it fucking finally back open? And I took another couple of steps. And then I saw the little banner saying patio or outdoor dining open. And I was like, oh, fuck, finally, holy shit. So I wonder what other fucking restrictions have been lifted without our knowledge.
Your knowledge.
Didn't see
But
it
right
on,
now, the ones that I knew was outdoor dining, barbershop, beauty shops, nail salons have been reopened again for business, and then outdoor physical activities can resume. I don't know which one exactly you're talking about.
I don't know what the fuck that means. Nobody stopped doing outdoor activities.
I don't know. David and I had gone to the park while I was there, and we wanted to, relive the glory days, get some hoops in.
I'm sorry, did you say with David?
And what they had done. Yeah, with David. He's not the most athletic, but
I would never dream of doing anything athletic with David.
We played a little bit of tennis because that was at least open.
Oh, that's fun.
The courts were still
play tennis again.
We're still available. We were going to play basketball, but the hoops had like metal.
Oh, you said they had locks on them or something?
Yeah, they had locks on them, almost like like the cars that had the old-fashioned locks on the cars.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
They had things like that right through the hoop, so that you can try to shoot, but it would just bounce off. It is essentially is another rim, so it was impossible to play.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm guessing those are the outdoor activities that they're talking about, because from what I saw, people were still out there either running, on trails.
Of course.
A lot of things were, people playing soccer and stuff like that. Like a lot of fields were still
remember
open.
They had I was telling you before, they take off the benches. They took the seats off, so it's just like metal poles. Like they.
Oh really?
Yeah, like the park benches and tables where they have for like people to like do barbecues
and
shit. They took the wood off and they left like the metal, like the frame or whatever the fuck. So I mean, technically you can still go in there, just you sit on the pole, right up your ass and just fucking enjoy your barbecue.
Some people may enjoy that. That's no here or there. So the question that has been posed by like medical officials and first responders with the reopening again is, have we learned nothing?
Who said that?
Because this is not the first time. This is just like people that are. Let me see if I can get you an actual. Because you want names, like as if you're.
I want to give them a shout out.
Or something like.
I don't see what's wrong with that. It's a free country.
Reopening?
No.
Well, the issue with like reopening right now for them, the issue that they see is that this is not the first time that California has shut down or imposed a lockdown and then reopened. Like it's been back and forth. It's like playing
I was here for it. It's
green light, red light kind of thing.
Yeah. Yep.
As soon as you get the green light, you start running with full speed, which is what most people do. As soon as they lift the restriction, is like that day they're going to go out.
Yeah, but
because they haven't in so long.
That's not. Why wouldn't you think that that's what people are gonna do though? That's
the issue that they're saying. Instead of people taking it like slowly and saying let's still practice as much as we can, like social distancing.
Let's look at this from a logical standpoint, right? Or just from a normal person's point of view, all right? The person who thinks
I'm normal. Let's go.
Well, it's debatable. A person who like a normal person who's like, okay, I think I want to be one of the few people that's going to slowly start going back and doing regular shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many fucking millions of people, because there's what, 20 million people in LA, how many millions of those people have the same exact thought that like, it's finally lifted, I'm gonna go out once tonight, and then whatever it means to start taking it slowly. I don't know what the fuck their idea of that is.
I don't think that's a thought that people have. I don't think anybody has that. Like, maybe a couple of like, okay,
that's how I would do it.
But most people are like running towards it.
It's finally, freaking restaurants are finally open. Today, I'm gonna call my buddy later and be like, hey, do you want to go out and let's go to dinner somewhere? Whatever, let's do something instead of just fucking.
Yeah, but most people, I don't think, are having that like, oh, let me just go out once or anything. It's more of the, let's go out every day now that we can. Let's make up for lost time. Because people were going out already, even when it was encouraged not to. So now that people have gotten the green light
after the second shutdown, yeah, of course, because they just finally had enough. They were fucking protesting out here because of the farmers were like just sick of this shit, because now nobody's freaking making money because they shut the shit back down.
Well, yeah, it's understandable from their point of view, especially when they were told like outdoor dining is probably going to be the next, like that's kind of where restaurants should move to, and then people invest into getting like the outdoor heating, patios, like constructing their business around that, because delivery is just not going to provide enough revenue for them to stay open. And then like 2-3 weeks later to have that rug pull under them and said, we're actually shutting down, no more outdoor dining. Yes, from that point it's like, well, what the fuck are you doing? You told me to do this so that my business could stay open, and then you impose another lockdown. And now I think we had spoken about it a couple episodes ago, about not only am I losing money from the pandemic, I invested more money
that's right,
in the outdoor stuff to keep open.
Following
you take that
your
away
regulations.
From me.
I'm following
Correct.
your regulations, and then you shut it back down again. Like, what fucking sense do you... I don't fucking understand.
So from that point of view, yes, I can understand what medical officials are saying is it's not the reopening itself. It's more of the message that it causes or sends to people.
Hold on, we're getting away from it, right? Because what I meant was like, all right, so I'm of that mindset. I'm like, okay, fine, for the good of everyone else, I'm not gonna just immediately go out and do everything like a maniac, right? And I'm like, all right, fuck it, Saturday, I'm gonna hit up my buddy Andrew. I'm gonna fucking see if he wants to go out tonight. I don't know. He's not really the most reliable, and I'm happy to say that on here. He doesn't listen. And if he does, either way, shove it up your ass, because you're a piece of shit.
Well, now you know.
Yeah. So I'm going to give him a call later, see if he wants to go out, and then probably won't do it again for a couple of days, or maybe I will. But how many millions of other people have the same exact idea that I do, right? And then there's also that other, the other people that are like, no, yeah, we want to make up for... I don't think anybody's really thinking that way, honestly. In my personal opinion, I don't think anybody's thinking like we got to make up for lost time. I think they're just happy
not even make up for lost time, but people really want to get back to normal soon.
Of course they do, yeah. But what I'm saying
they're
is,
just gonna
it's unreasonable to think that that's not how people would operate. There's gonna be people like me who are like, all right, we're gonna just slowly sort of get back out there and start doing back to normal activities. But there's also going to be millions of people that are like, no, we're going to fucking go out all the time and blah, 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 right? So, like, why wouldn't you think that that's how people are going to operate?
Because especially for LA that has been shut down a couple times now, people, I think their mentality might be, before we shut down again, because it may be inevitable, and just following the pattern, I'm going to go out as much as possible.
It's because you're one of these people. You're one of these natives. You're one of these.
That's what I'm saying. I live in I grew up and lived in LA for a really long time. So I do think the way they do, and it's like that's the way people see it. Even being there for like those 2 months, I was like, yeah, I can see if they reopen, everybody's gonna go. People were still out there when it was encouraged not to be. So I can only imagine now that they say like, okay, the stay-at-home order has been lifted. And that's the message that medical officials are worried about that. We're saying by having that, they might misconstrue that lifting by maybe assuming that the numbers are going down, that the cases are going down, and everything's getting better when it's not. We're still in it. We're not, as they say, out of the woods.
This is all propaganda, dude. This is just how far behind is California now? The East Coast is like almost everything is pretty much back open, and this all just
yes. So that's the other thing too,
dude.
but that's almost because of like if anything that Trump left behind was saying the more cases, the more testing there is, the more cases there are going to be. And California does more testing than any other state as well. So they're going to have more cases.
Right, yeah. Makes sense.
If other states don't care about it and don't test as much, like there are places in California and in LA that without testing you can't go back to work, where there's in other states it might not be that case. It's just, hey, if you don't feel well, if you have some of the symptoms, just stay home. But it's not like we're not going to test you, therefore you're not a number that they put in their statistics. Or they just might not care about it and might be like,
I don't think anybody
everybody
doesn't
just, like,
care about
be an
it.
adult.
I don't think that's really
Oh, there are people that just like
people,
this
but like the
real.
state as a whole, I don't think they're just like, I don't give a fuck. Or maybe there are.
If they don't see the numbers
How's Arkansas
that
doing?
are coming in or anything from their people, I mean, I can imagine a state being like, we're not as bad as these other states. I'm not gonna lock this thing down. But that's because people are not testing and not taking this. If they don't take it serious, then they can't see the actual numbers. People may be walking around asymptomatic.
People probably are walking around with it and just think it's just a regular cold, and they get over it, and then that's it. It's done. I'm sure.
Correct, and may infect somebody that's cannot get over it the same way.
But that's that herd mentality, or not herd mentality. What do they say? Herd immunity. It's building up. It's the only way to that's the only way to make it happen.
I mean, not that I disagree with that, because I've said that since day one, that it's just like, let people, if people want to go back to normal so badly, then fine, let everybody go back to normal, and people that get sick get sick. If that's what individuals want, then that's what.
Put on your stupid fucking mask, do what the hell they say, and live your life. Just stop closing
Well, I don't know.
shit back down.
As we talked about, COVID has evolved, because even in San Diego, the new variant from UK has now been found there, right? And now South Africa. That actually, though, that one was found,
I heard about South Africa,
I believe,
before.
earlier this week in South Carolina.
Yeah, I think I read something about that too. God damn it.
So all people are saying, some people are saying it's good.
So wait, what about the vaccine though? Because I think I did. I don't know if I saw somewhere.
So that's what they're saying. They were like,
care of it anyway, right? Even the new variant, or no?
So again, they're saying, let's get more people vaccinated before at least California reopened. It's too late now, but with the new vaccine that at least they just came out with the data yesterday, Friday, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, the shampoo company, at least from what I knew.
That's definitely not.
They make great smelling
that's definitely not their
baby
only
shampoo.
Not their only product.
But apparently, I was surprised. I was like, Johnson & Johnson out here making medical breakthroughs. So there's a couple of things that people have noted from this new vaccine. And the first one is its overall effectiveness, which is right now in the U.S. overall is like 72% effective, while the one from Pfizer and Moderna is 94 to 95 overall. So obviously people are like, well, 72, 95, but which one would you go to?
Yeah, but the Johnson & Johnson one, the advantage of that one is just one shot.
Yeah, so that is the big selling point as well. Also with having like the severe disease in all countries, overall effectiveness is like 85. So it is, and I mean, an 85 on a test, that's a B, right? That ain't bad. That's passing in my book.
That's passing.
Right. And it is a one shot, one kill, ready to die but never will. So
if there are any veterans listening, they just got super hard. Well, at least Marines.
So
I don't know about all these other cunts.
No, I think it is a Marine thing. So it is a one shot, which is not only, so they say it's going to be less expensive because of that. Also, it can be stored and distributed easier than the other two because they don't have the high or strict restriction of freezing and refrigerating. So it's kind of a plus. And I think it's a good, I don't know. When it comes to vaccines, I'm still skeptical about all of them. But having more vaccines out there, the way it's kind of viewed in the big picture is that the more vaccines we have out there that can at least be effective, the more people you can get vaccinated and we can get back on track. Because right now at the beginning of the year, people were stating that maybe by either the end of spring or summertime, we would kind of go back to or make great strides to get back to normal. And with more vaccines, we can potentially get there. And this one as well, so this vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson one, J&J as I like to call it, was at least made, or they conducted their trials with the new variant strains, while Moderna and Pfizer came out with theirs before those strains were kind of like known.
Of course, yeah.
So this one is also supposed to be like, they said, hey, it is not as effective, but it's also taking the other strains in consideration. So researchers are saying not to compare the J&J vaccine with the other vaccines because they weren't made at the same time.
Right, yeah. That makes sense.
They have different, they were conducted now that we know about these, apparently, I don't even know how many strains there are. It could just keep evolving.
What do you mean?
Apparently.
How fucking many are there? I thought there was just this one that we have, the one that's been around, the OG, and now the new one.
The OG.
So now
I don't know, because until it's the same thing, I think, as the vaccines now, where how earlier this month the now new director of the CDC was like, or I guess a couple of weeks, was like, we don't even know how many vaccines we have out there. Right, like we don't know how many we have, so we don't know how many to distribute. Oh, it was a whole thing. Now that this administration took over, right, they were like, the last administration didn't have any of these numbers. So she got on like CNN or whatever and was like, I don't even know how many vaccines we have. So we don't know how many I can't tell you how many to distribute to each location. Which
what
is, yeah, it was, to me, that's
when was Jesus
crazy.
Christ.
I was like, how do you not know the inventory? First, I'm guessing when you got it shipped, it didn't just come with the amount saying many.
This doesn't make
there
sense.
There wasn't that's...
Do they not have records of how many
that's what
vials
I'm saying.
they have?
I would imagine that you would have all that stuff.
Yeah, each case has a certain amount of vials, and there's definitely a paper trail to it. So, what the fuck? I don't know. I kind of got away from it for... There was just too much shit in the political arena, how it just became so much of everything. I just, I don't know. I stepped away from it for a little bit. Basically, just this month. Because, I don't know, it was the holidays, so I didn't want to fucking even know.
It's crazy. I mean, it makes you think, what the fuck are they doing?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
We can't even...
They just don't know how many they have. We don't know how many we shipped. Fucking really? What are you talking about?
Imagine the military saying that before they go out to a battlefield and just being like, how many rounds do we have? Not sure. I know we have a lot.
Oh, mine went...
I know there's a case there, but I have no idea how many we have.
Your example was way better than mine. Mine always goes to the extreme, and I was just like, hey, how many Marines did we send out there? I have no idea. What are you fucking talking about? But that's where my...
I know it's like 2 to 3 companies, but I'm not sure which one are there.
How many are out there? Who knows? I don't know.
Who knows?
Human lives are out there. We don't know. We don't care.
Which essentially is this. That's a perfect example of this, because it's like we are messing with people's lives.
Yeah.
We don't know how many people are showing up to these places to get vaccinated, and then there's a sign that says don't have enough vaccines.
Oh, really?
So it's only so it's like, oh, now we have to delay that to make sure that we do have enough vaccines for the people that were expected to show up.
I haven't even seen that sign in the state with the most cases. The only thing that I've seen is at CVS when you walk in that front door they say no COVID testing without appointment. So I guess they probably just get overwhelmed with douchebaggery coming in.
I mean, I think maybe not most, but I would imagine that most places would have by appointment so they can see how many people they're actually, or how many vaccines they have, how many people they can actually vaccinate.
Yeah, but I mean, the reason that these many people were getting vaccinated was just because of the propaganda, that they're putting out. Because the rest of the country is still dealing with it, but in a regular, normal fashion, as in slowly getting back to the normal that everybody understands is the normal, not the new normal, which I fucking hate. The rest of them are. I mean,
I don't think there is gonna be if we get back to the world that we knew. I mean, that's gonna take years.
Why wouldn't we?
It's not gonna take.
It's so annoying to me to hear people fucking talking like that. It's like, if we ever do, it's like, why wouldn't we? Does nobody? Why wouldn't anybody strive for that? Like, do you want to just walk around wearing a mask all the fucking time? You can.
Yeah, so, but there are things that we can take from this. There are things that we can adopt that. Whereas if you're sick,
but
maybe you should wear a mask. But that's something that we never adopted. That's something that we thought was stupid.
The thing for people to get ingrained in their fucking brains is that once this does pass, because it will, and if you want to still wear your mask outside, that's fine. But don't try to be a cunt about it and make a fucking scene for people who aren't wearing the mask just because they don't fucking have to, because they're not sick and there is no more fucking pandemic. Because there's going to be people like that just refuse to
and you
face
can't,
facts and say hey, it's over. Enough people are vaccinated. There's herd immunity. You're not going to fucking die from it. But they're still going to have the mask and be like, you're fucking threatening my life or whatever the fuck, just because you're standing 3 feet away from me, which I don't know why the fuck you're standing that close to me anyway, you piece of shit. Back the fuck up. So that's what I'm saying.
There's things that we can take from this, but I don't think going back to what we used to be. I doubt it's actually gonna happen.
I firmly believe that it will. Just go to the grocery store. People in there act like everything's fine without masks.
Yes,
doesn't matter. Everybody's just fucking.
And as long as
sardines. So if that's not a good enough example for anybody that doesn't think things are going to get back to normal, just think about that. When's the last time that you went to the grocery store, not Instacart or whatever, actually went to the grocery store, and then you just see everybody's in there like everything's normal, which is not good, especially for the.
That's what I'm saying.
Especially for here. No, but the thing is, especially
it's
for here,
ignoring a problem. It's not going to go away just because you ignore it.
But that's what I don't understand is they make this huge, gigantic spectacle. Everybody, or not everybody, most people in California, or especially in LA probably, are the ones that are getting tested the most, right? Because they're the one. Because over here is where they're the most worried about it or whatever. But
it's the highest county in California, right? Yeah,
but it's like their logic just completely escapes them when they go to an establishment, anything other than even fucking going to what's it called, In-N-Out. At least in the line, people are still stacking up on each other. When they're waiting, that's when they spread out. But when they're in line, they're still almost nut to butt in there. It's what the fuck is the matter with you? This isn't it. COVID doesn't stop at the entry to In-N-Out and Ralph's and fucking CVS. And just because you're in a store, that doesn't mean that it's over. You fucking dope.
That's what they're trying to tell people. They're trying to tell people that's not over.
I guess technically it is on an airplane. Apparently, they made fucking unbelievable fucking advancements with their filtration systems. So if you're on, I think it was because obviously I looked into it a little bit right before I left. So there were the filtration systems they have in the airplanes. So even if somebody does have COVID. If they're sitting, and obviously they're doing the distancing, which apparently they stopped, but I got lucky, so I didn't sit next to anyone. And so if everybody has their mask on, and one dude on the plane has COVID unknowingly or whatever, right? It's not going to spread because you keep your mask on during the whole flight. And the filtration system is so good that it eliminates like 99.999%, like 998 or 9993% of like bacteria or whatever the fuck, or viruses, whatever. I don't know. But it made me, well, as I was reading it, it made me feel a little bit safer. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. You would think because of the recycled air, it would be worse, but no, dude, they're killing it.
No, I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get back to that. I mean, again, hopefully with these vaccines, people will feel a little bit better.
Even you saying that makes me so angry. Like, I would throw something at you if you were in front of me. Like, stop. Like,
I don't know.
Stop being that person. Just stop saying it.
It's just being
pessimistic. It's not even being, because you're not being realistic. You are being pessimistic, because being realistic is thinking like, yeah, it is a problem. Things will get back to normal. During the Spanish flu, they probably thought the same thing. You know what I mean?
But there is no way. It's like almost after 9/11, things didn't go back to normal. We adopted a new normal with our flight system. I'm not saying that we won't go back to a better life. It's just that after a big event, we don't just go back to what we used to be. We adopt a new normal. So I'm not saying we're not going to go back to a life where we don't have masks. Or we have masks and stuff like that.
What's the new normal look like?
I don't know. I don't know what it looks like. That's the thing. I don't think anybody sees the new normal. Maybe futurists do, but I don't see a new normal after this. I just know there is going to be a new normal, even though I get it. People don't like to hear a new normal. I want to go back. Yes.
Oh, no. I'm not talking about other people. I'm just saying, me personally, I just hate hearing that, because first of all, it just sounds stupid. Like, it's just, people are just making new shit up all the time. But
yes, I've said since the beginning, it's not going to be, and I'm contradicting myself here again, but it's not, in my mind, it's not a new normal. Nothing that we do is a new normal. It is just normal. Like, now, this to me is, I'm not like, oh, the pandemic maybe like do this, or this is because of that pandemic. Like, it is, but to me, I'm just like, this is life. I'm living it. I just go with the punches. Whatever you're telling me to stay at home, you're telling me to work from home. Okay, I work from home. Now they come out this summer with like, everybody can go back to work and stuff. All right, to me, go back to work. I'm not looking for a new thing or to go back to anything. I'm just living my life as I am presented with whatever comes. You know.
I'm looking at my topics.
So, there's what's going to be our normal when we get back to however running the world again or whatever. It will be what it will be, and
have there been no
we just
talks
need to get
about
over it.
You going back to your actual office? Or are they just
no, but I mean,
trying?
Those, I'm not going to get too much into what our work policy, our procedures are. However, that's one of the examples, like with difference between some workplaces about having testing before you go back into the office. Ours is not required to. So I can go back into the office. It's just right now for safety, I'm not. I'm working from home, and then I feel eventually like going back to
sense. I mean, if you don't feel sick,
what?
Right? If you don't feel
that, the thing is that I can be asymptomatic without knowing it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If I don't get tested, I won't know whether I have it or not. So I can go back and say, well, I don't feel anything, which I attribute to my great immune system, that I rarely get sick. And I know, as I say this, let me knock on wood here.
I'm gonna,
because as I say it, I'm probably gonna get fucking sick.
I'd like for you to get sick. Should be fun.
No, I hate getting sick, but I normally don't get sick very often. I think last year once maybe, and it was very quick. So I'm not one of these people that are just sickly. So I don't normally feel sick. However, I could have it because of how this virus is, and without knowing, go into the office, might interact with somebody, boom, they got it.
So you're scared,
and
is what you're
we
telling
won't
me?
even know.
That's essentially what you're telling me?
Scared of what?
Catching it.
I'm not scared of catching it for my own sake. I'm scared of catching it for somebody else's.
That's true. It's very nice of you.
Most of the stuff, again, like most of the stuff that I do, even with the mask and all that stuff, one is because I need to go places, but two, it's for the consideration of others. I don't. If they said tomorrow that we no longer need mask or that it's still recommended, but you can go into businesses without it, I'd go in without it. If it was up to just my preference, I do not like wearing a fucking mask. However, I also don't want to be responsible for somebody else getting it.
Me too. I think I'd probably still. If it was, yeah, because if they said that, they're like, okay, you don't need to wear masks anymore unless you makes you feel more comfortable. I'd probably wear it, and then I'll wear it walking in, and then sort of get a lay of the land and be like, all right, well, everybody seems to be kind of just chilling, and then I'm like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah, if the other person doesn't care, that's why usually I'll ask, like, it's kind of
because if you're in there without it,
now,
if you're in there without it, then obviously you don't care. So it's like, okay, fuck it,
correct.
Whatever.
If people don't care, then I'm not afraid of getting it.
Yeah.
However, if somebody's all like, no, I'd rather you wear it, then okay. If it makes you feel better.
Well, it depends. Don't come up with a fucking attitude. You know what I mean? If you come up with a nice fucking, well, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, fuck you. I'm like start coughing all over him. I was like, dude, I don't even know why you're talking to me, bro. Go fuck yourself. Get the hell away from me. I'm not, because the people that do like go, because it's only the people that go out of their way to be these fucking pretentious assholes. Because like, you can be sitting there without your mask, and then it's that person that'll like come up to you and be like, "You're making me feel unsafe." I'm like, "Bro, I'm in my corner over here. You're 20 feet away from me. Why are you fucking worried about me and making fucking bullshit comments?" Is like,
these social justice heroes.
Get me started.
That's the ones that are. So to wrap up the JJ vaccine. This is just the raw data that they've come out with. They said they're gonna present this to the FDA this upcoming week, and if everything goes well, then
maybe
it'll be it can be approved for emergency use, and it'll be out. They said as early.
Actually, not officially approved. Still just for just because of the pandemic.
I think emergency use authorization, and then after that, I don't know if they have to do more investigating after that, but
the vaccine is it's gonna be just like it's like the vaping. It's like, yeah, we don't know what's gonna happen. You know, we're gonna give it a couple of years and we'll see.
That's why I'm so skeptical about it. It's not even like that zombie or the
chip, man. That's
what was the other the chip inside. I'm more worried about like you all don't know yet. Like I don't think we have enough time to know about this yet, and it's just it's exactly the same thing to me as vaping. It's like. It may come out with, you might see those commercials that like, have you vaped since,
2015?
Whatever, you may be entitled to some compensation. It's like, I don't want to be one of those that's like, oh, I need to call this number because I was the first one to do it.
Did you see the one for the 3M earplugs? They were like, did you use 3M earplugs on the rifle range in 2015? You might be entitled to compensation. I was like,
I haven't seen that.
I did use those. I did use earplugs. But like, I saw the thing and I was like, you know what? I'm just not this person. I can't even. I'm not gonna.
At this point, yeah.
I'm not gonna click on it. I'm not gonna get into fucking all this shit over like maybe getting a couple $100.
I know. At a certain point, I think. Like towards the end of
look, if it's gonna
my
get
career,
me,
I was just like,
if it's gonna get me millions of dollars, I'm all about it. Let's do it. Let's get into it. With
it was that much, but I know it's not. It's not. More trouble
it's more trouble than it's worth.
A lot of things. Yeah. So like the last thing that I had for COVID, which I don't know if you've heard about China's new method of testing.
Okay, well,
we heard about
that's a little bit better. Okay, well, I thought that was gonna go. All right, well.
Now, have you heard that they have adopted the anal swab for COVID testing?
Is it like a rectal thermometer? They kind of like just shove it in there for a few minutes and then pull it out.
So apparently, if stool sample cannot be obtained, which I'm like, why? I didn't know people were testing doo-doo, but they use a cotton swab.
What are you,
that's
5
about
years old?
1
Doo-doo?
or 2.
Really? Sorry. Go ahead.
They use a cotton swab that's about 1 or 2 inches long, and they have to insert it in the.
No thanks.
In the anus.
I think I'll stick with the nasal swab.
That's what I'm just like. in the meeting who was
whose
you know,
idea
we should
was it?
try.
You know, we have to get it straight from the source. Okay, this is the best. It's the same excuse for the rectal thermometer. It's like there's no way to get a better result. It's got to go in your ass.
It is, and this is kind of controversial, but I stand firm by how I grew up, and I do not do any butt stuff. I am not interested.
How is that controversial?
In any butt stuff. Oh, with the society and the generation that we have
Stop
now,
it.
talking about
Stop it.
eating ass all the damn
Oh,
time.
you mean that shit? That's fucking disgusting. Dude, I don't know what the hell. That shit just like came out of nowhere. Everybody just started talking about eating ass all the time. I'm sure it was probably some fucking hip hop song. You know?
Yeah, and
For sure.
it's like a
And it
huge
just
thing. Oh, well.
blew up. And
What was it, 2014 maybe, with like the Chris Brown song about what's her name?
I don't even like Chris Brown, so it stands to reason
Janae-
that he'd be the asshole to start all this nasty shit.
I think Janae Aiko.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where she says, yeah,
eat the booty, like, groceries. Oh my god, dude! I heard this dude. I was watching a video because I heard the song, but like only once, and
Mhm.
you know, it was the first time listening to it, and it was on the radio, so it was like I wasn't really paying that much attention to it, and I was like, I didn't really like it anyway. But then I heard, like, I was on Instagram or whatever, and this dude was like talking about the song, and then he just like played that little chunk, and he started commenting on it. And I'm like, I didn't even fucking realize this bitch said that. It's disgusting. What the fuck's the matter with her? And then like, I was like, well, it's a good thing that I didn't like the song in the first place. So fuck it. Who cares? And then everybody's already.
But a lot of people did.
A lot of people like it. Good for you. No thanks. I had a chick try to do it to me one time. I was, hey, cut it. Hey, I was like, no, not here. This is exit only. All right, don't fuck around down there. Nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Nothing for
it's
you down there.
Exit only. I already don't enjoy any, like, going to like the dentist. Like, I don't like people in any of my orifices. So
I'm all about
that's the
it.
number one.
Well, I didn't. For the dentist, yeah. I mean, I got fucked up teeth, so I. Yeah.
I cannot do it.
I'm all. Yeah,
Try to
I'm
talk
all
to you
about
with
it,
your
man.
mouth is all the way open. I can't do that.
It's not. I mean, it's not comfortable. It's not. I'm not like sitting there enjoying
It's
it.
not.
Like, oh, it's great. I just, in my mind, I'm
Well-
like the end result is gonna be great. So.
Had you heard about people getting like aroused from the nasal testing for COVID?
The fucked up stuff that I listen to in podcasts, probably nothing would surprise me. You would be surprised at the level of shit that I just hear about that turns people on. That it's just mind blowing. It's so gross how like some parts of society, you know. But that is new. I'll admit that one's new. I didn't know people get turned on by picking their nose or whatever. What were you saying?
Yeah, it's and this actually came out way before, like the concept of what they call a nussy
Oh, what?
or nussy. I don't know how.
No,
you-
new sum.
So it's
New sum. That's
no new sum.
Write your angry letter. New sum. Make sure you spell it right. Get the address right. Send it right to his fucking house.
No, it's the combination of nose and pussy put together. So nussy.
What does that do? Oh, so you
It's
you play,
so it's the
you
it's
play with
what they
pussy and,
call
like,
like
play got your nose.
No.
You play got your nose and you play with her pussy at the same time.
no, it's essentially probing your nose and getting aroused to that, just like a woman would with you fingering
So you're
your
basically
lady part.
fingering her nose.
Well, it's not only for women. It
is in my mind. It is.
I know that's how you're drawing it, but it's not only. Apparently,
look,
it's not only for.
I don't give a fuck about the whole PC thing. So for me, it goes straight into for a woman. So, like, as far as like
That's
inserting, right?
I guess for you, it would be that's the worst part. Is that, guys are also getting aroused with this.
No, it's not.
Which is just.
It's not the worst for me. I don't think about it. That's not where my mind goes. My mind is like now I'm like thinking about it. So she just lays there and you just basically you're just fingering her nose like that.
I guess I don't know,
And that
but
gets
it's
them off?
more. It's not somebody doing it on someone else as much, except for this COVID testing. But it's more of like people doing it to themselves.
So
it's
just
almost
like masturbating.
yes,
So
essentially.
it's a new form of masturbation. Is just pick your nose.
That's
wildly.
apparently been around for a couple of years now.
I'm kind of
it's just
curious
been,
as to how
it's
you
been
heard
more
about this.
upfront now. I've only heard it because of the COVID testing that people are like they're getting aroused from it with people like probing up there to get the, and I'm just like, how? That is supposed to, like,
I just did it.
It's supposed to be uncomfortable.
I did it like 3 weeks ago. I would never imagine that. I was like, oh, this is so enjoyable. Oh man, I'm starting to get a fucking water. What the hell?
Like as they're pulling it out, they're like, no, put it back in. Like,
keep just
so.
How much is another test?
So odd. Yeah. So uncomfortable. I would think also for the person doing
it. That was fucking
like,
gross. What the hell? What'd you call it, or what was it called? Like you
no,
named.
I didn't
you
call
came
it
up with it. This is your thing. This is definitely your thing.
No, it's the Urban Dictionary now.
Because you put it there,
and it derived apparently from. When I was looking this up. I went through a rabbit hole. So it derived from, I guess bussy would be the right word to say, with the B. So Bussy.
But it's. I was talking about the nose though. How do we get here?
No, I know that name derived from.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm
this
back
one
on
that
track.
I'm talking about, which is put the butt and pussy together.
Right. Well, I mean, I wouldn't. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Just yeah.
So essentially,
that makes sense.
That's
you
what
know, the pussy and the ass were getting right there.
Yeah. So that's, I guess, from it derived from the LGBTQ plus premium, whatever the name is now.
XYZ.
Whatever it is.
All of them. They're all included. So go ahead.
they made it. I guess they adopted that term, and now this came from that.
And that's okay.
Because they're just putting things together.
Well, it makes sense then why it's not like actually like mainstream. They're not as big as they think they are. That's really
apparently these parades have done nothing for them. So
go enjoy your parade.
Essentially. And it just, to me, it was just so odd because I'm like, okay, so now people are doing, or at least China is doing these anal swabs. It's like, are people going to get aroused with this? Which I would hate to. At that point, if they say that that's where we've been moving, I'll be like, COVID's invited. I will invite COVID into my life. I'm not doing any of this.
Well, hold on. Well, you said that if you can't acquire a stool sample for whatever reason, then they have to do that. So at least you'll have that.
I feel like they'll be like, well, I mean, even for me, like, I don't just poop on command. It's like, I don't think I'd be able to do that.
I don't understand what the fuck all this shit is or whatever. Oh my god.
It's just too much. What surprised me most.
That's amazing.
That's what I'm saying. How they arrived to this, but what surprised me the most while reading all this was that among those who have been tested in Beijing, it was like 1,000 school children and teachers were tested with this method. And I'm just, I got so sad because I just thought of the trauma. This method.
Poor
I was just like,
they have to go through. Well, at least it's not like a priest, right? At least they're actually going to a fucking doctor's office and they're doing it like
well, that's the thing. It's like, we don't know what these doctors is like.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're not exactly the most humane over there with their treatment of each other. So who knows what's going on? That'd
be funny. I'm not attacking the church here, but that'd be funny if the church was on board with this. They'd be like, here.
The church is like, we need to adopt China's methods for testing. Must be certified. Must be a certified religious practitioner.
Trying to have the church come after me.
Ridiculous. God can hear you right now.
Okay. Yeah, He is everywhere. So, that's just kind of one of the things that I was.
Did you say
reading?
God? Did you just call God a he? How dare you?
God is a he. That's how the Bible.
That's what it says. That's what it says in the good book.
Yeah, that's what the Bible says. I mean, what am I? This is not. It's not like what people are gonna say was written. Probably was written by a man. Say they got all the facts wrong.
Did you not get a signed copy? I got mine is autographed, and it's by a man.
I didn't stick around for that.
I hung out. Yeah, I got it. It's by God / and then
actually,
in the bottom he put his pronouns on the bottom. So he him. So actually
don't have one in my place.
Ooh,
which I've strayed very very far away from the church, but I'd still.
I got.
That's one of the things that I'm just like, I should have a Bible here.
You should, yeah. And this is gonna be more impactful than. So you mentioned before that you never get sick, And now that you mentioned it, you probably are going to get sick. This is probably going to be even more of a big moment for you, because now that you mention it, now something's going to happen, as it should, because you deserve it. I mean, why don't you have
any religious thing. I don't have a cross. I don't have any
cross. I have stuff from my own culture that I have.
I don't have a cross just because of, you know, how when scary stuff happens, that's like the first
thing. That's the go-to.
Weapon.
Grab that cross. I will use Jesus to kill you.
He's just. That's the other thing too. Is like if he's just on standby.
All right, but who's better off though? Is the people with the cross or the people with the stars of David? Because you can just throw them shits like Chinese throwing stars, man. You know what I mean? If you get some really good, like some metal ones, you get some distance. If you got a good shoulder, mine's a little bit fucked up. You got a good shoulder, you just fucking get the motherfucker. And it's not gonna make as much noise as a gun, although I still prefer a gun because hell yeah.
The issue with that is that if they're able to dodge those, you lose your weapons.
Listen, you're not getting past the Star of David, all right? It's coming at you. It's coming at you hard. It's coming at you fast. You're getting taken down. All right.
Or if your aim is not as good and you do hit
then you throw the holla at him. Then you throw the holla. That shit is dense. Not really. It's good. It's got some weight to it though. Then you throw, the holla, right? The Jewish bread. You never had it?
The what?
Holla. You never had it? It's pretty good.
The bread? No.
Yeah. Yeah, there's not really.
No, no, I don't.
Yeah, you guys don't really know a lot about that kind of stuff, huh?
No. Especially because, the way the story is told in Christianity and in Catholic Church is not that the Jews were the greatest in the world. So,
true.
No, I did not grow up any of that stuff.
I heard about all of it, man. I don't know. Everybody was. That's why the East Coast is better. You guys have this false idea of like, oh, we're all inclusive. No. This has been going on the East Side forever. Everybody knows about everybody's shit. Over here, everyone's in their little bubble.
Think it's I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with that. It's just
you don't even have to know about it. I mean, they still have them in the grocery stores. They got like all the. You're not even curious. You see like the. Oh, they wouldn't call it ethnic. They call it the kosher stuff or like the Asian stuff. You see that and you're just like, ew, no, I go only to Hispanic section.
That's racist.
No, I'm asking. I don't. You know what? I don't. At this point, everybody calls everybody racist without any real meaning behind it. People are pieces of shit. Everybody's throwing that shit around like it doesn't matter.
No, just because I know what.
No, you know what? I'm actually glad you mentioned that because that brings me back to the scene from The Gentleman where Colin Farrell's character explains to the black dude.
Yes,
it's like no.
Such a great scene.
He's like no. He's not saying that all black people are racist. He's saying you're black and you're a cunt. So that's just he's specifying that to you. He's not saying all black people are cunts. That was the greatest. Like that was the best breakdown.
That was the greatest scene. I love that
Colin
scene.
Farrell just crushed it in that role, bro. I rewatched it again yesterday. Yeah.
And you are a cunt. Yeah. So those are the facts.
Those are the facts. So fucking great. Oh, dude. I heard that. I started laughing. I just rewind that scene and I just watched it again. I was like, that's so fucking funny.
It's so good.
It's so clear too. And it's just like, no. Don't start your shit here. Okay. don't bring that in here. No. And then he's like, he's a fucking gypsy. I don't call him a pikey. And he's just like, yeah, but maybe he would. Maybe he's very understanding. Don't put it past him. Maybe he wouldn't. Like people,
I think everybody needs to see that so they can understand.
I think people just need to adopt more of my mentality. I mean, when I was in the Marine Corps and everybody's saying all these like, "Oh, you're a spy," blah blah blah. I'm not taking offense to it. I think it's funny. I don't give a shit. Maybe I was a spy. Who knows?
Yeah, there was that, and I think that was probably one of the good things about like being in the military is that it sanitizes you to that point where it's like, and you can cut through the bullshit that way. By being sanitized, you can actually cut through the, that whole stigma about like, everybody be kind of nice to each other or whatever bullshit that we called each other whatever names, but we knew it was all like, it wasn't.
I don't want to.
I'm not gonna say that there aren't racists in the military, but there's a lot of like, because of the camaraderie, and at the end of the day, which I agree with what the Marine Corps does specifically, is like breaks you down so that you're no longer an individual and kind of makes you into a group, is that you can at least see that no matter what at the baseline, what you are is like a Marine first, and then whatever else you identify as.
You're really well, what's the phrase? Painting it with a silver brush or something like that. Because I mean, I don't know, gold brush, whatever the good one is. Because you're making it. Not everybody's like that. Let's be realistic. Not everybody's like that. Not everybody gets past that.
Yeah, but I also think that
look, for example, like, right? Absolutely, like, what you're saying is definitely right, because I think, I mean, unless you're a piece of shit, like, when you get out through your time, like, I think if your group of friends is only just the same, like, people that you hung out with on the outs, like, before you got in, then you're kind of just stuck in that mentality, and there's just no helping you, and that's not what I'm trying to deal with. You know what I mean? Because I got out, and I'm literally the only white guy in the group. Oh, I forgot about fucking Jason and I, huh? Well, he's a piece of shit.
And the one with the condition.
That's different. She has a condition. So that's her. Yeah. That's what she brings.
She is white.
But that's what she brings, though. She has her condition. You know what I mean? But I don't see it, like, literally, it sounds stupid or whatever, but, like, I don't see it, like, as, like, a color thing or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? I see it as, like, you know, my friend, because that's just what it is. You know what I mean? But, like, not everybody can get past that, because, like, there's just certain shit, like, because there are people, especially more sort of nowadays, where they think that because they're in the military, that the military is going to conform to them. No, bitch. That's not how it works, because we had fucking Williams. Remember Williams?
Which one?
Black Williams, who from my shop.
Maybe?
Were you there when he's there? Well, whatever. You're better off not knowing him. Either way. So we have fucking regulations, right? For literally everything, right? And your appearance is one of them. So you can't just come in with fucking nappy ass hair and think, oh, it's all good because it's natural. No, that's not how it fucking works. Your shit still needs to be squared away. You need to look presentable. So what he was doing was, he was still doing the fade and everything, but he wasn't taking care of it on top. So it started to, like, get nappy and fucking look like shit. And so he'd come into the office, and whoever was in there would fucking give him shit about it. Like, hey man, you look like shit. You need to run a pick through your hair. You look like trash. You look like a bag of garbage. And he's like, he didn't take it as like, oh, they're trying to, like, square me away and make me better. He took it as just like, oh, they're making fun of me because I'm black and I have nappy hair or whatever the fuck. And literally, like, I think Cruz had to fucking go in there and be like, no, it's not. Don't try to fucking make it about that. No, your fucking hair is fucked up, and we have regulations for this. And then, like, he had to, like, fucking tell him. Even after every single person in there broke it down for him, told him, you look like shit. That's the point. It's not about you being. It's not about you having this certain type of hair or whatever. Because he's trying to say, like, oh, it's natural. It's in the regulation. If it's natural, it's like, yeah, within reason, within the regulations. Yeah, you do leave it natural, because if you can fix your hair or whatever and have it look natural, with like you can't shave the part in, even though douchebags still do it because they think it makes them look like a. No, whatever. I'm getting away from the point. But, like,
no, there was somebody like that actually. A
bunch of them.
Ford had told. He actually used me as an example because I was walking by at the same time he was correcting him, and he said, look at him. He's like, he's Hispanic, so his hair grows differently than yours, and it wasn't a race thing. He was just trying to explain to him. He's like, because I had a part at the time. I still have a part right now.
Me too.
He was like, you see, he can part his hair. He's like, but that's because naturally.
Yep.
He can do that. He's like, he asked me, he's like, did you shave? Did you ask the barber? And I was like, no, he's like, exactly. He's like, you cannot. He's like, and he was, Fort was also black. So he's like, I know. He's like,
he just shaves his head.
He said, like, you cannot. Yeah, he shaved his head. He's like, I know you can't. He's like, that, you have to be able to do it naturally. He's like, and I know that's not natural because you shaved it and you can't do that. And yeah, there are pieces of shit that don't understand that.
Yeah. Fort was awesome. He was a great first sergeant. He was awesome.
I guess I just never ran into that because I was always in a diverse, except for like when my one before that, I was like, it was always diverse where we had so many people in there that came from different places and were different races, different genders. So I never had an issue with like people not understanding, like, okay.
That's the weird thing about it is like our shop especially was like, it was really dark. I was the white guy. We had What? I think literally everybody was different. Oh, well, Hale was white, but he came in later. He was also a fucking whole bag of shit too, for other reasons. But
yeah, they're gonna be pieces of
well,
shit.
whatever. Either way, it was still like, you know, it was a mixed group, and everybody's telling him like, dude, you look like shit. But like, it didn't get through to him. So like, when he did eventually fucking, like, you can't argue it. All right, it's a rule. You have to fucking look presentable. So he still took it as like, oh, they just don't like you because I'm fucking black or whatever his, you know, real little excuse was. Because as he's walking away, you know, he's pouting and he's like talking under his breath, and we're just like, what the fuck ever, dude, just go fix your shit. And then he came back and it was fixed, and he was all upset about it. And we just carried on with our day because nobody gives a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. So the moral of today's episode is just don't be a piece of shit.
Don't be a piece of shit. Don't stop taking everything as a way of everybody being racist.
Yes, that is true though. Now
you started
days. Yeah, I know, and I usually always say it as in a joke, because it's not like I'm oblivious that there are racist people.
Yeah,
but I just don't encounter them, and I think that's mostly because if I can tell somebody is in that mentality, has that, like, they are racist, I'm not gonna deal with you. I'm not gonna continue to be in your presence. It's like, all you have I know you think a certain way and it doesn't align with the same way that I want to. You do you, I'll do me. And instead of staying around those people that always like to cause conflict and be like, you know, you're not thinking the same way I'm thinking, so I'm gonna stand here and leave. Like, it's like,
the people
why?
that don't get the point of America.
So, but yeah, usually I'll say it to you guys just as.
Well, yeah, obviously among us, it's funny. It's just when you get these outsiders that try to like make a little joke and be like, "Oh God, that was racist." It's like, what the fuck are you talking? Did you just take what I said completely out of context from the whole conversation? Yes, that's exactly what happened. Oh, okay. Well, then shove it up your ass.
It's a good place to.
I think it's a good place to end. Shove it up your ass. Don't you dare fucking leave it on that.
Well, that's been another episode of the RDG Show. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and a comment below. Also, hit the notification button so you don't miss out on any of our latest content. You can follow us on Twitter and all audio platforms where podcasts are available. As always, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time.